up with me. And though smug satisfaction seemed the order of the day, something still was nagging me and would not go away. A week before, I got a letter from my old great aunt. It read, "Of course, I'll completely understand if you can't, but if you find you have some time, how nice it would be to have a little chat and share a cup of Christmas tea." She had suffered a mild stroke that year, which crippled her left side, and though housebound now, my folks had said it hadn't hurt her pride. They said, "She'd love to see you. How nice it'd be if maybe you could go and have a cup of Christmas tea." But boy, I didn't want to go. What a bitter pill to see an old relation and how far she'd gone downhill. I remembered her as vigorous, and as funny, and as bright. I remember Christmas Eve when she regaled us half the night. I didn't want to risk it all. I didn't want the pain. I didn't need to be depressed. I didn't need the strain. And what about my brother? Why not him? She's his aunt too. I thought I had it justified, and then before I knew, the reasons not to go I so painstakingly had built were cracking wide and crumbling in an acid rain of guilt. I put on boots, gloves, cap, shame stinging every pore, then armed with squeegee, sand, and map, I went out my front door. Beside the wooden house that held the Christmas cup. How I got to her front door, I really couldn't tell. I watched my hand rise up and push the button on the bell. I waited, aided by my nervousness, rocking to and fro, and just as I was thinking I should go, I heard the rattle of the china in the hutch against the wall, the triple beat of 2 feet and crutch come down the hall, the clicking of the door latch, the sliding of the bolt, a little swollen struggle popped it open with the jolt. She stood there, frail and tiny, fragile as an egg. I forced myself from staring at the brace that held her leg. And though her thick bifocals seemed to crack and spread her eyes, their milky and refracted depth lit up with young surprise. "Come in, come in!" She laughed the words and took me by the hand, and all my fears dissolved away as if by her command. I went inside, and before I knew how to react, before my eyes and ears and nose was Christmas past, alive, intact. The scent of candied oranges, of cinnamon and pine, the antique wooden soldiers in their military line, the porcelain nativity I always loved so much, the dress in the crystal I was told I mustn't touch. My spirit fairly bolted like a child out of class and danced among the ornaments of calico and glass. Like magic, I was 6 again, deep in a Christmas spell, steeped in a million memories the child inside knew well. And there, among the old Christmas cards, so lovely it was I'd come to call.
What's new? Thoughts and words began to flow. I started making sense. I lost that phony breeziness I use when I get tense. She was still passionately interested in everything I did. She was positive and encouraging, just like when I was a kid. Simple generalities sent her into fits. She demanded the specifics, the particulars, bits. She talked about the limitations that she had had to face. And she spoke with utter candor and with humor and good grace. And then, defying reality of crutch and straightening, on wings of hospitality she flew to brew the tea. I sat alone with feelings I hadn't felt in years. And I looked around at Christmas through a thick, hot blur of tears. The candles and the holly she'd arranged on every shelf. The impossibly good cookies she still somehow made herself. The rich tactile memory seemed quite pale and thin when measured by the Christmas my great aunt kept deep within. Her body halved and nearly spent, but my great aunt was whole. I witnessed a Christmas miracle. The triumph of a soul. Came down the hall, the rattle of the china and the hutch against the wall. She poured 2 cups. She smiled. Handed one to me. And then we settled back and had a cup of Christmas tea.